Welcome to the KISS software overview. The following video is a 30,000-foot view of the KISS software quality management system. Please note that KISS software is a multi-regional, multi-location software operational through the World Wide Web or on a cloud-based platform. Each time a user logs into the KISS software system, they will be shown the login screen page. Well, they will be entering their username and password. Once into the system, the first thing that they will see will be the task list. Please note that a task list shows any and all tasks assigned to an individual person or what's called a responsible person in the system to undertake a task that have been assigned to them. The task list follows the various modules located at the top of the KISS screen, showing the individual tasks related to those modules for the particular individual who is signed in herewith. Once again, KISS is a multi-regional, multi-area, multi-location software system that can be operated anywhere in the world 24 hours a day. Document Control Module. The Document Control Module, like all modules in KISS, is permission-based. What this means is that a super user or module manager will assign various permissions to various people who will undertake tasks within the document control module. Field mapping is available to allow a user to customize the field look and add additional data fields to individual modules within KISS. To manage a particular module, such as initiation of documentation and editing information contained herein, can be simply achieved by clicking on one of the following buttons. Initiation of a new document. You would title the document, choose what type of document type, which would be preloaded in KISS at setup, as well as the standard element related to the ISO standard, and any quality or departmental information can be put in, which will create automatically a document control number, which will remain with the document throughout its life, subject only to revision, with revision change numbers herein. A brief summary is created every time a document is initiated for easy follow-through. Continuing, the electronic notification list allows a user to select particular people to be notified automatically when a document is released. This is where you upload your original document, and this is where you assign the task priority and any approvers that you so wish to assign to approve the document prior to its release. This is a task assignment with a new user has been brought on board, where he has been assigned the task to approve a particular document and send it back to the initiator of that document. He has 1 day to do the review. Any comments he wishes to make can be done here, and he submits it back into the system. This shows a document history page of when a document was created. It'll show any previous revisions of that document, as well as any documents that were associated with the creation of this new document, and a full history on who had the authority and approval, and the electronic notification list information herein. Records Management Module allows you to choose and create the different types of record types that you will be using within your corporate system. This shows the record type setup and shows a history screen of active record types currently in the demonstration module screens. Nonconformance Module. Please note it is permission-based, as are modules in KISS. You can choose to, during setup, to describe the different types of nonconformance categories, disposition types, and particular failure modes. Please note if your company uses MRB or management review boards, that information in those particular groupings of people can be constructed by clicking herein. Field mapping is available for customizing for additional data. And the management of the particular fields, as well as the editing capabilities, are the same throughout most of the modules in KISS. Initiation of a nonconformance. Please note that all nonconformance numbering are automatically done in numerical order in KISS. Simply title the document, choose the department that will manage the nonconformance, where did the nonconformance originate, the particular location of that nonconformance and origination, and the particular nonconformance category and failure modes describing the NCR. This is where you would describe in detail the description of the nonconformance, any information you want to add. Please note, when you choose the File button, you can load 5 separate files into this particular portion of the module related to the description of the nonconformance. This is where you would assign your responsible person to undertake the task of dispositioning the nonconformance or sending information back to the initiator. The Kappa module is very similarly set up with permission bases as well as assigning task priorities. You can group people to create a Kappa group to undertake any and all actions related to Kappa and assign that particular group specific options within there. Field mapping is available as well as editing capabilities in charts and reports. Initiation screen of Kappa is very similar to nonconformance. Simply choose the Kappa type, origin, and any input names. Input names are relevant to the origin of the Kappa and who or what may have been involved in the corrective action decision process. This is where you have all your nonconformance detail. Once again, you can choose and load up to 5 individual files related to nonconformance detail. Now, if you've created a nonconformance in the nonconformance module, we have the ability to initiate a Kappa directly from that module, and all this information will be pre-filled out for you if you initiate from the nonconformance module. This is where you select the responsibility of a responsible person and assign them a responsibility related to the Kappa or the Kappa steps. This is an example of assigning it to the initiator themselves. That party can do all 4 steps of a Kappa by themselves, or they can choose down here to click and assign a particular employee that individual task, all the way through until the Kappa is completed. The Management of Change module, very similar in structure and setup as to the Kappa module. Once again, permission-based, where you assign your priorities. You can also create an MOC group with the options and input names. And management, initiation, and dashboards are available as in all the modules. Initiation of an MOC is very similar to a Kappa, where you simply choose your departments, any subdivisions if any, the type of change, the origin of the change, and any input names, and this is where you would detail the change to be done. You can also create impact information here. This is what's preloaded in a demo. This can be multiple choices can be added, as well as up to 5 files can be added by clicking the Choose File button. Responsibility assignment, you can always assign it to yourself as initiator or to any individual who has permissions based upon their designation as a responsible person. You would load up any risk assessment information associated, such as any forms, test results, and the like, and any detailed plans for handling any type of management of change or contingency planning. This is where you would assign for approval purposes. You can choose from a drop-down list of people who are designated approvers to approve the responsibilities assigned in your management of change. This is an example of the calibration module, where you would set up equipment and view equipment in the module. KISS searches all equipment located both in the calibration and equipment module by serial numbers. Once information of a piece of equipment that needs to be calibrated has been entered in here, you can also click this button and it will share the exact information in the maintenance module of KISS. The training module, a very detailed and powerful module, is located within KISS specifically for training of your employees for competence based upon their job title and competency categories. Please note, KISS breaks these down into corporate training category competence, departmental, job title, and on-the-job training. You can also schedule group trainings on a regular basis within KISS. You can set forth the particular training requirements by employee, new employees, and any changes thereto. Scheduling is available. And the most important feature of this is the periodic training needs assessment, as is required both under the 2008 and 2015 ISO standards. This is an example of a corporate training setup. These are corporate trainings that everybody in the corporation will have to undertake in order to be competent as an employee of that particular corporation. This is where you can add new trainings on a regular basis. This is an example of training requirements by a specific employee. These are all the required trainings that that particular employee, based upon his job title, will be required to take. You can also use employee training assessment comments to update his records on a daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis. This is your periodic training needs assessment screen, where you simply choose a particular employee and assess their current training to that date. There's no longer need to wait a specific given or time period in order to assess the training needs of a particular employee. It can be done on a daily basis if need be. This is an example of training records by an individual employee. These are all the records of the trainings that particular employee has received and whether he is qualified based upon his job title to do his job. The different nodes can be color-coded to reflect whether a particular training after assessment was effective, if it's not been properly scheduled at this time, if it's a previous revision was completed, whether it was scheduled and he was not qualified, or whether it's repetitive. If all those have been answered, that person will have yes and will be a qualified employee. The audit module in KISS allows you, once again, permission-based to load up information relative to auditors, as well as checklists and schedule a particular audit. This is where an audit schedule will be completed, titling the particular audit, its start date, end date, and any descriptive information, as well as the departments to be audited, the standard elements to be audited, previously loaded checklists, and who the lead auditor or any other auditors involved in the audit will be. The management review module, the final module in KISS, once again permission-based, allows you to select employees to become committee members for the management review, as well as scheduling the meetings. This is an example of the meeting schedule, where you choose the start date and end date, and the description needed, as well as preloading the agenda for the meeting, a copy of the current quality policy of the company, current quality objectives for the previous management review period, and any other documents needed for the management review. And finally, the participating employee information. This shows a list of people that will be in the meeting, as well as you can select from a drop-down list other employees that you may wish to add for the management review meeting. This has been a 30,000-foot view of the KISS modular software. Please visit our website at www.kisssoftware.com to contact us at sales for a live demonstration of this particular quality management system software, and we'd be glad to schedule it as soon as possible. Thank you for your time. Good day.